Hey everybody, it's Ricky and I'm back with another video. It's another unboxing video, and the reason is that when I got my drums, the hardware was not yet ready because of all these issues with supply chains and all that malarkey that's going on. I guess my hardware was sitting on a boat out in the water somewhere or something like that, I don't know. But I got it now, and this hardware is chrome. A lot of people, about 50% of you, said, no, stay with the black. No, go with the chrome. But the thing is that with this black, it looks great. It's powder coated. I've had this a long time. It's a little bit outdated, actually. I've had it for years. It doesn't mean it's bad, but the only thing is if I need to add to it, then I got to get my hardware powder coated. And sometimes in a timely manner, it's hard to do that. And right now with these supply chains, I just don't want to risk it. I think I'm going to be better off with chrome. It's probably going to bling better with this particular color anyway, and then I get all the new features that's come with this hardware. Let me just say something about DW hardware. I've been with DW for a long time. I did leave the drum portion of the company for a while, and I started my own drum company. I continued to work with DW. I still use their hardware and pedals. I use some of their shells. John Good and the whole family at DW I stayed friendly with, but when I got cancer, if you don't know about my cancer story, that's a whole nother story, but I just couldn't keep my my custom drum company going. I just wanted to go back to DW. I just didn't want to try to build drums anymore because I was so far behind the 8 ball. I just was almost impossible to catch up. Maybe one day, but I'm happy where I'm at. So anyway, I got this hardware and I want to get going with it. Show you guys what it looks like. Let's do this. So the thing with unboxing is you get one shot at it. Now, I got a poison green box cutter. Pretty cool. Anyway, this one kind of broke open when I was moving it. Honestly, I wasn't cheating, but it's just like the end, so we're just gonna go ahead and start with this. Okay, so what do we got? Woo! Okay, so we got some arms, some cymbal stand arms, I should say, and these are the kind that clamp on after the fact. So they're booms, but you can add them in. Mega clamp cymbal arm combo. What I'm gonna do, by the way, I think I'm gonna, you know what, can you hold on a second? So I'm a lucky guy and I have a Canon R5, and I'm just gonna shoot a little bit of B-roll with this right now so you can see this hardware a little bit closer. Now I'm not cutting it out of the packaging yet. All right, here we go. All right, so this is an airlift. Guys, this is like, do you know about the airlift? The airlift stands are incredible because you just kind of squeeze and it just lifts up. I mean, have you ever been like trying to lift up your snare drum and it's like you're trying to get it to move and it's like it falls and it pinches your finger? But this takes all that out of the equation. Now this throne is an airlift. All you do is just, so I can go up and then wee. Yeah. Wee. You can go all over the place with this. Wee. Pretty flipping cool. Okay, so let's open this. Got my DW shirt on today. These things are heavy, but the thing is, once it's set, you're in a really good position to move it any way you need to. And I'll tell you, this really helps when I'm on tour because Sometimes maybe I'll go between like a 4.5 and a 6.5 inch deep snare drum. And, you know, I need to lift it up to the mic, where the mic is, and in a place where I'm comfortable. So this really helps to be able to do that really quickly. Otherwise, you're in there and screwing it, you know, and they're starting the next song. And so this really helps with that. I mean, this stand is just beautiful. It's just a beautiful stand. I mean, usually hardware is just one of those like necessary evils. You gotta have hardware. Let me try to get that language right. There's hardware and there's drum hardware. This is hardware. The lugs and the hoops and all that stuff is drum hardware. That's how we delineate between both, okay? Some people may argue with me about that. And look, a chrome sticker comes with it. So I'm gonna leave the tag on there for right now. I'm just gonna set all this stuff up right in front of me here. And put it over there. All right, next, hi-hat stand. Now, here's another thing that I've always kind of like gone, oh, do I want like a 2-legged or a 3-legged stand? I elected to go with a 3 this time. And the reason that I went with a 3-legged stand is, number one, I'm just doing one kick drum this year, so I'm not mounting it off the kick drum. If you don't know what to do, I would suggest ordering a 3-legged stand. You can pop the rivets out and make it a 2-legged stand if you need to do it. So there's always that. I want to thank Garrison from DW. He's been my A&R guy at DW for a long time, and just always super cool. Let's stick with this. These are the rods. Yeah, I said rod. You know, back in the day when I first started with Drum Workshop, Don Lombardi, I remember one day, called me up and he goes, you know, we have this new tweak to a pedal that we're doing, and I'm heading downtown LA to have something machined. Can I stop by your apartment and show it to you? And I said, of course. And he did, and it was one of the new chain drive pedals at the time. And I just remember those days, man, when it was just, I've been part of the DW family for a really, really long time. And Don was really ahead of his time. Well, DW in general was ahead of their time with pedals and with their hardware. I mean, their hardware is, to me, second to none. By the way, this is the 5000 series. I just like the feel of it. A lot of people like 9000. There's all these little subtle differences. There's a drum key in there. There's a hardcore drum key, man. Woo. And there's a drum key and there's a holder for the drum key. And there is a little bit of extra hardware in here in case you lose something from the looks of it. So this right here is a holder for the drum key. But right now I'm going to actually use this drum key to, I mean, what you do is you just turn these right here. This isn't a whole lesson on how to use DW hardware, but I figured I'd point it out. And this keeps it all nice and tight. You can angle it a little bit differently. Once it's sat down on the surface, you can make some adjustments. Usually it comes fairly well adjusted, unlike me. I like it where it just lifts off the ground just slightly, just like this much in the back of the heel. Take the rods out. And the way you put these on and I'm sure most drummers know this. One's longer than the other one. I think I'm gonna start with the longer one. And if I don't need it, then I'll just put the smaller one on. So what you do is you take this off, and then you spin this guy on. Can you see this? And you can get it just finger tight. You don't need to wrench it down. I've seen guys grab a pair of pliers. It's not necessary. Then you thread this down to the desired height. And I'm probably going to go about in that area. I'm not sure exactly. I'm going to come off the R5 now. And then you have your lock. They call them tech locks. So there we go. That is the hi-hat stand. Oh, and here's the clutch for that. So I'm just gonna keep this close by. I'm gonna make these, I'll definitely widen the stance of these legs. I'm gonna also keep this hardware close by. Keep it in my tech box. Throw that box in that garage. Bye. All right, here we go with this box. I don't know what's in here. Can you guys see it? Not really. Now, some of this stuff is 9,000. Like my boom straight cymbal stands are 9,000s. I just like the 5,000 pedals. I got used to them and I'm just a fan. I think all their pedals are phenomenal, but I am just a fan of the 5,000 series pedals. My preference, I like that it's a little tiny bit sloppy compared. I tried direct drives, and I took it out in the Devil City Angels tour, but I was getting sore. I mean, literally, like I felt like I was pounding, into concrete. So I really made myself sore, and I couldn't wait to get back to my 5,000s on that tour. I think I was probably. I was probably playing a little harder between Eric Brittingham and Tracy Guns. It was loud on a little stage. I think but honestly, I just feel like that direct drive, I just didn't like the feel of it so much. It's a great pedal. It's a wonderfully engineered pedal. I understand how guys can go massively fast with it, but just not my groove, personally. But I recommend it for a lot of people if you don't, but I just got sore with that thing. Oh, this is a boom, but you can make it a straight stand if you want. So it's highly versatile. So the way you do that, obviously, is you just don't come that far with it. I'm gonna go ahead and lower this tech lock a little bit. Bam. So the way you do that is you just do this. You don't boom it. Duh. But if you want to boom it, then there you go. And then voila, you got a boom stand. I love the look of straight stands. I just think it looks cool and linear, but more often than not, I have to boom something. So we'll see. I am open to changing my setup every couple years. Just my body changes, and I feel like if I can make something more ergonomically friendly for how I'm going to turn and play, I think it's a good thing. I've changed a lot. I used to sit super high and I'd be bouncing and doing all kinds of tricks, and hey, I'm older, okay? I can still do a lot of stuff, but I had to simmer down just a little bit. Not too much. What did not show up is the tom stand. I have a double tom stand, and that has not arrived. Because the only thing I'd have to keep black would be this tom stand right here. That would have to stay black, because this is what I need in chrome. All right, I'm gonna put the rest of these up and then show you what they look like. So I just destroyed the building trying to kill a spider, and I don't think I got it. His stuff was falling over. Anyway, so correction, I have 3 straight stands, which is what I normally have, and I have a boom. Now this boom is lower than your average boom, and the reason is because this will come right up to the point where I tend to have my ride low. It's just right off the kick drum, right there, if you can see. There's the spider, I'm gonna kill it. I think I got it. Anyway, so this ride sits, I have it sitting pretty low. And this configuration, because the stand is a little bit higher, I have to have it flipped over. And you'll see the difference here. See how much lower that is? Right there. And now this I can go straight up. That looks kind of cool, but it's a little bit of a pain to tear down and set up a little bit. It's easier just to drop it straight on top of the stand. This is one of the first things I'm going to change over right now. And by the way, that spider, I reached down to grab something and it just boom, right out from underneath my hand. We have black widows out here on the West Coast, so it wasn't, I don't think, but anyway, freaky nonetheless. Okay, so that ride's in place. I'm gonna have to sit down and play it to really know if it's in the right spot. To me, that kind of looks better. It's just a lower, leaner look. I don't know, it looks great. It looks like a chopper. And I won't run the risk of hitting that stand. It's a lot easier to deal with. All right, so Thanksgiving has come and gone. I got stopped, obviously, like I said in the earlier part of the video, because I didn't have a double tom stand. So DW stepped up, sent me 2 double tom stands. So I have that, but what I needed was another straight cymbal stand. So what I did was I took the double tom stand for now, and took a cymbal arm extension and put it on, just to adapt and overcome for now. Anyway, I set everything up, and you know, I just unpacked everything, set everything up. Some stuff's kind of loose. I mean, I don't even have a hole in the front of the bass drum. I'm not using the heads that I use. These drums come with Remo heads. Remo makes a great head, but I'm an Aquarian in Dorsey, and I prefer their heads. I have not got a chance to change those out yet, and I'm not sure what I'm going to use. So I put all this stuff together, and the last thing to unbox, because I thought it would be pretty darn cool to unbox, stick my Clark Kents up here, is my DW5000 double pedals. And this isn't going to be a video about pedals, obviously, but I am adding it. I've tried the 9000s, I like them. I've tried the direct drives, I talked about that earlier in the video. I still keep going back to the 5000s. In my opinion, the best pedal ever made. There's some really good stuff out there, don't get me wrong. The 5000, man, I'm sorry, it redefined what a drum pedal is, in my opinion. It's my humble opinion. It's what I like. It's what I've chosen over the years, and I mean, all the DW pedals are great, but the 5000 chain drive, I'm sure you know what that's about. So I'm gonna go here and unbox this. I gotta put on my glasses because I'm an old guy. Let me see here. I have a couple of multi-tools. This one right here is the SOG. And by the way, if you guys want me to do a video on like everyday carry, like my dad was a knife dealer after he retired, and he had sold a lot of multi-tools, so I got super into multi-tools, Leatherman, SOG, Gerber, all those. I know quite a bit about them, believe it or not. And I love bags and I love everyday carry. So if that's something you would like to see me make videos about, let me know. Like I said, I know a thing or two about it. What I really like about it is how these gears are on the pliers. I mean, you can really squeeze tight with these things. But anyway, I'm not doing a video about that, so. But I did want to ask you, so definitely leave a comment about that. This thing is sharp, man. I mean, it's like, whoa. All right, so this thing comes in a really cool little case. Awesome case. And let's see how they're packing them these days. Look at that. Okay, this is weird. Okay, this is supposed to be up here. I think it just fell in shipping. So it comes packed like this, typically. Like that. And then here are your pedals. This is the master and this is the slave. Easy to tell them apart. The one's just smaller. And I typically take at least, well, I take a backup out in the road. And because, I mean, seconds count. Seconds count. When people are paying a lot of money to see the big rock show, I mean, you miss one hit on the snare drum and people are like, you know, when you have to change stuff, if something breaks, and these ordinarily don't break. And that's another reason I love these pedals. I mean, they're just solid. I did have one break 6 years ago, something like that. That was it. I mean, I never break them. I check it every day. My tech and I go through all the gear, make sure everything's solid. We go through and tighten everything just to make sure everything's, really in tip-top shape. You have to oil them just a little bit. If you take care of stuff, it's just not going to break, man. If you're just throwing shit at the end of the night in a case, eventually, it's usually that's what breaks stuff. Not really playing anymore. I mean, we've figured out how to make stuff work. Now, I've seen pictures of guys that have cracked these things right in the middle, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you stomping on it so hard for? A drum is only going to give you so much level, no matter what you do to it. You reach diminishing returns when you hit a drum at a certain velocity. You hit it, and it's going to resonate, and then you keep going, and eventually it farts out like overloading a speaker, and that doesn't sound good. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me. If you want to play that hard, then you want thicker shells, and if you have thicker shells, you're going to have a fundamentally higher pitched tom or snare or whatever it is, and then you're going to have a deeper drum. Or a bigger diameter, or a combination of both. You don't need to hit things that hard in order to reach maximum volume. There's been so much talk about this. I think there's a million forums. Again, this is my opinion. This is what I've learned over the years. On the first tours, I used to just beat the living crap out of my drums. And I'd come home and I mean, my hands would be swollen, and I mean, it just doesn't make sense to do it. You just use good technique and hit the drums properly with varying velocity to get louder sounds, and you're good to go. I mean, you know, the difference between hitting here and hitting way up here, I mean, at one point, it like I said, it's diminishing returns. So, with that being said, you shouldn't crack pedals in half. I mean, that's just crazy. You go, oh, the dude's a beast. Okay, good. Hey, I'm glad I don't supply him with pedals. Let's unpack this thing. Leave a comment if you've ever cracked a DW 5000 pedal, okay? I've seen it. I've never done it. Do I hit like a pussy? I don't. But I'm not out of my mind. It doesn't make sense to do that. Okay. I do break sticks. God bless Vader. Anyway, so this is the master, and a lot of times it's set up really nice from the factory. Sometimes I tighten it up. I like the return a little bit faster. I can go a little faster. This is the master, and anybody doesn't know, and I'm sure most of you do know, what you do is you use this to slave one pedal to the other, and you put both beaters, which are included, with weights. So if you want to change the weight and the throw, you can do that. And also there are tech locks on here, so that when you put the beater on there, you know exactly how deep you put the beater. Rule of thumb: to get the maximum sound out of a drum is to hit that drum in the center. Okay. Now, with snare drums, it's different because it's more of a finesse thing. Even with toms, sometimes you can move around the tom. There's different dynamics. Overall, generally speaking, on a kick drum, you want to get the beater to impact in the center of that drum. I've known people that have had huge kick drums, and then inside there's a trigger. So there are pedals in there, and it sounds like, whoa, that thing's massive, and it sounds great, and it's just a shell. Kind of like a big Marshall stack with like one cabinet that's live, and everything else are empty cabinets. It's like, I'm a dick. I'm giving away all the rock and roll secrets right now. How many guitar players are going to kill me right now? Anyway, I'm going to go set this up, so give me a sec. Oh, one other thing. So I got this with the kit, and I'm going to show you guys. This is the Welcome to the DW Family kit. There's a serial number on here. And in this little thing, man, this is so cool. Okay, first of all, let's just show it off. There is a little booklet here. It says, "We thank you," and it's got a setup there. It's got Don Lombardi and John Good way back in the day when they started. Warranty, machine washable cleaning cloth, and then a plethora of like tuning lugs, a really nice key for tuning. Okay, this goes on. This clips on your keychain. A smaller one, and then it's got a driver for a drill on here. I wouldn't recommend anything with a lot of torque to it. Just get a smaller, less torquey drill. Maybe even like the screwdriver type of drills, just so you're not like accidentally, you go the wrong way and just tear that thing up. I mean, because you don't get lug inserts with this anyways, okay? So anyway, so that's just like a cool little thing I want to let you know about. So I hope this maybe helps you make some choices about the hardware that you're gonna get next time. But this is what I'm gonna use on tour. I've been very happy with DW hardware for a very, very long time. So take care of each other and keep rock alive.